Hello, everyone. My name is Zachary Thayer, and I'm a storyteller from Illinois, and you're listening to my podcast where I tell stories from my life and the lives of the people I care about. And this is going to be a little bit of a different podcast episode. For one, this is going to be the first episode that I just kind of speak off the cuff and go wherever the spirit leads me. I kid. But it's also the first podcast that I'm videoing, and I'm about to explain why. This is going to be a life update episode as well as kind of me rebooting, revamping the podcast. It's not that the other podcasts that I produced were bad or that they don't count anymore, but the podcast has not been a priority to me. Really, personal projects, whether it be YouTube videos or podcasts, they have kind of taken a step down in the priority list for me this summer between all these different freelance projects that I've been doing and different things going on. But I am making this podcast, this video, as a way of making a public statement to my commitment to this. And it comes at a very special time in my life. You see, in less than 9 days, I begin a new chapter in my life. For the first time since college, I'm having a life transition into a new job, into a new place that I'll be living. I have accepted a position with the Illinois Assemblies of God as their creative arts coordinator. I'll be creating social media and video content, graphics. I'll be updating their website to keep it current, and that will be my full-time job. It's my first big boy job, as it were, and I'm pretty excited. When I graduated college, I bumped into the mic. There, we good. When I first graduated college, I didn't really have an idea what I wanted to do with my life. I knew that I had a passion for ministry and a passion for video/media stuff. I just didn't really know how that was going to work. College, I would say, taught me a lot. It gave me a lot of good experiences, and it was exactly what I needed from my 8-month period of basically sitting on the couch not doing anything. It was exactly the step in the right direction, but I did not effectively job search post-college or even really during my senior year. So the joke that I always say is that I basically acted like and kind of hope for the rapture to happen the day after graduation. That way I wouldn't have to worry about my future, worry about my adult life. So I just kind of waited, and I got presented a part-time job at the church that I decided to attend. I started doing office stuff, and then that office job turned into doing media stuff, and doing media stuff for my church opened the gateway to different freelance opportunities with other businesses and weddings. And so over the course of the last half of 2015, 2016, 2017, now into 2018, I have had a growing freelance job while also discovering and figuring out my passions for both media and ministry through serving as an employee of my church while also a volunteer and just kind of getting plugged into the community here in what is known as the River Bend area. And now all these different experiences post-college have led up to this moment. I am finally moving out of my mom's house. I'm getting my own apartment in Carlinville, Illinois at the Lake Williamson Christian Center Conference Center. It's these campgrounds owned by the Illinois Assemblies of God. It's whenever you hear me in my videos or my blog posts talking about camp, this is the campground that I'm going to be living at, and I'm pretty dang excited for this opportunity. I'll still be doing freelance on the side. I want to keep that as a part of my life as much as I can, just because it's fun. It gets me outside of the Christian bubble, and it helps build my portfolio, and I just enjoy it. And I still want to continue these passion projects as well. I have dreams of writing books and having a speaking career and producing feature-length documentaries and other films. And I don't know what exactly that looks like, but for right now, what pursuing passion projects looks like is writing regular blog posts through Instagram and Facebook and my website and producing one of these weekly podcast/video things. And I'm going to kind of treat my podcasts and these videos as basically vlogs or blogs. If it's a website, a podcast, and a blog, make it a blog. And then I will also use these videos / podcasts as a way of collaborating with my friends and other storytellers where we tell stories from our lives together. So that's kind of my, for right now, vision, at least for this goes. And I kind of want to address a couple things, a couple thoughts, a couple questions that have been thrown at me in this season of transition. I will still be attending church in Bethalto, Illinois. I'm only going to be living 40 minutes away. I'll still be a youth leader because Uncommon Student Ministries, the youth group that I've been serving at the past 3 years, that was my first community post-college. And as long as I'm able to, I still want to be plugged in as a volunteer, behind-the-scenes guy, as the spiritual big brother to all these teenagers. That was my first passion, my first assignment post-college, and I still see me being plugged into that in my future. I also want to kind of just get really real with you guys. I'm a little bit nervous about my future. I worry about if I'm going to do well at this new position. And, I appreciate all your words of encouragement. I do. But, I'm not downing on myself, but, I think it's just natural to feel nervous about any kind of season of transition. And I'm just straight up a little bit worried about jumping into full adulthood where everything is my responsibility. I'm preparing all my own food. I'm doing all my own laundry. I've been paying my own bills for the most part, but this is the first time that it's my own responsibility. And I will take any advice and prayer I can get from you guys. But this is a season that I definitely needed. Living with my mom and brother hasn't been bad, but I'm definitely wanting to spread my wings. And this is an opportunity to do so, and I'm taking it. And it's kind of funny. There was a time in my life where I thought this would never be possible. You see, when my dad died in 2015, one of the first, admittedly, it was a selfish thought, but one of the first thoughts I had was, well, it looks like I'm living with my mom and brother for the rest of my life, because I was worried and concerned about, can my widow mom live by herself with my special needs brother? That's a really blunt, dark way to put it, but that was something that was a genuine concern. Now, it's not that my mom and brother have been a shackle to me. I've had the freedom to pursue freelancing and pursue being really involved in the community outside of my family life, but it's just, I didn't know if they would be able to handle it. But I have had a handful of people in my life tell me, hey, there's a whole world out there for you to go after. You have your own dreams, your own passions, your own calling. And yes, family is important. They'll always be important. They'll always be a part of your life. But you should feel no fear going after those things. And I kind of accepted that as truth, and I've been looking for an opportunity to move out really since this summer when I turned 25. And right at the end of summer, this opportunity pops up to be the creative arts coordinator for the Illinois Assemblies of God, for Teen Challenge, for everything that is Team Illinois. I'm going to be creating content for them full time. And I'm taking this opportunity. And I cannot wait to share all these stories that I tell for the Illinois Assemblies of God with you all. And I can't wait to take you all in my journey of taking this next step in my storytelling career. This has been a process over the past 3 years since college, but it's really starting to take shape in 2018 as far as my vision for my life and what I see as the top values in my life. And I have a list on my phone. Actually, I have a wallpaper on my phone that has my top 5 goals and my like mini goals and my big picture goals. I have it all typed out as a wallpaper on my phone. That caffeine's coming up. I don't know if that's a thing, but either way, I'm burpy right now. But if I had to summarize the goal for my life, it would be to tell stories as both a career and a calling, whether it be telling stories that I get paid for or just telling stories because that's what I do. But not only do I want to tell stories, whether it be writing, film, public speaking, podcasting, whatever it may be, that's one half of my life. The other half of my life is just living a great story with my life. And what I mean by that is I don't want my life to be defined by sitting behind a computer typing or video editing. That I enjoy those things. They're passions of mine, but they're not the only passions. I want to go out into the world and do great things, help people, live wonderful experiences, go on adventures. So storytelling and story living are my two passions that summarize everything that is Zachary Thayer. And I've always kind of known that, but I've never really been able to define it really until recently. So I would say that my purpose, my mission, and you see it right on my website, on my Facebook page, on my Instagram bio, I'm a storyteller who helps others find their place in the grand story. I tell stories for fun. I tell stories for money, whether it be writing, film, public speaking, whatever medium it may be. I'm a storyteller, but also I'm all about spreading the gospel and helping people in practical ways. And my end goal is to have a ton of people at my funeral. I want to make an impact both relationally and whether it be having conversations or living wonderful experiences with my family and friends. And I also want to make an impact through the stories that I tell through my art. I don't know if I'll ever have millions of subscribers or followers or whatever, but I know that my stories have had an impact so far. I've had different messages and people talk to me in person saying, hey, I love that podcast that you did about your brother, or I loved that video that you made for your church. They have all been wonderful. And I don't know what huge impact I'm going to have, but I know that I'm already making one, and I'm going to keep pursuing those things because I know that they matter. And what that looks like right now is three things: making videos for the Illinois Assemblies of God, making freelance content such as weddings and whatever else I can get, and making personal projects like these life update podcasts or whatever else that I make for my YouTube channel, my Instagram, or Apple Podcast. So that's all I have for you guys today. That's just a general life update. My goal, keep me accountable to this, guys. My goal is to do one of these weekly vlogs, plogs, podcasts. Maybe it'll just be a one like a single, what's the word I'm looking for? Solo, that's the word I'm looking for. Sometimes these installments will just be solos where I just talk to you guys and talk about what's going on in my life, what I'm creating, and whatever stories that I've been living lately. I'll treat these things like chapters in my life story, my autobiography, and I'll also do collabs where I will bring on a guest and we tell stories from our lives, whether they be funny, serious. That's really my vision right now for these podcasts, is telling stories from my life and the lives of the people that I love and care about. Some of these people that I'll bring on the show I've known for years. Some of them might be new friends, but either way, I want them on here, and I want to both live stories with them and tell stories with them, because that's what my life's all about. And this has been going on for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to quit rambling and let you guys go. But thank you so much for your time. And if you want to subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel, keep up with what I'm doing on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, I would greatly appreciate it. This storytelling journey is just beginning, and I am honored that you would join me in that. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.